What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And today, I want to talk about something that's been going through my mind. And I've been trying to figure out how to say it, but I'm just going to say it. Recently, everybody's up in arms about the comments that Kanye West made on TMZ about slavery was a choice. 40 years, slavery was a choice. And his comments went viral, to say the least. And many people, many black people especially, are furious and irate with his comments. And I can understand that. Since then, he said that more footage come out, and he said that he was talking about mental slavery, and things of that nature. And many people, and I must admit, including myself, were just furious with his comments because it spits in the face of our ancestors who went through this turmoil, and that's light. Like saying turmoil is even a light expression. This horrible event, and that's even light. This atrocity, this event. It just the slavery was too bad for words. Like I don't know if there's a word that could properly express how bad slavery was for us throughout the generations. But it got me to thinking, what are we really upset about? What are we really, really upset about? Now, I will admit, if that's not what Kanye West actually meant, that he's talking about like 400 years of slavery is a choice, that I believe that he needs to do a much better job in verbalizing his thoughts. Because for him to just say it like that, and then that's it, is not very good. But I asked the question, what are we upset about? This may rub people the wrong way when I say this. What are we upset about? I asked that question because the comments that he made were disturbing, I will admit. But is his comments more disturbing than the drug dealer? See, when you deal with entertainment, especially like music, you have people who talk about selling drugs, who talk about cheating on their significant others, and who talk about abusing people and killing their own. We hear that a lot now in our music, right? And no one has that much of an issue with those lyrics to stop buying the music. People still buy the music, right? How many women have been called bitches to a hot beat? How many men have been killed or set up by their homies to a nice beat? Right? Now, Kanye West may have made his comments, which like I said, I do find disturbing, especially when the way he worded it. But we feel this strongly about Kanye West, but Joe Zimmerman is still around, walking. How are we so up in arms about Kanye West, but Joe Zimmerman, an actual murderer of a black person, unlawfully, is still around walking? How is it that many of our people are on drugs and are sold those drugs by other black people, but nobody has walked up to that drug dealer and put hands on them, right? We talk about how we got to get rid of coons, and we got to get rid of these Uncle Toms and these Sambos and these black sellouts who sell out the black community, right? We say this. But what's worse? What's worse than a black man raping or molesting a black woman or a black child? What's worse? What's more coonish than a black pedophile? I mean, we could talk about Kanye West, marrying a white woman and all that stuff. But we could talk about that. Yeah, okay. We could have that conversation. We could have a conversation about him wanting to be like so many rich white people. We could talk about that. Okay. But one thing we can't talk about? We can't talk about how many times he shot somebody in a song. We cannot talk about how much drugs he sold, right? We can't talk about whose wife he slept with and gave it back to her husband, right? We can't talk about that when it comes to Kanye West. All we can talk about is him wanting to be Ralph Lauren, and it ain't Ralph though, and polo fleeces, and ultralight beam and all that. That's what we really talk about. But we can't talk about how many drugs he sold, right? How many drug dealers are out there in your neighborhood? Because, like I said, a drug dealer is actually killing people and breaking up a family. How many drug dealing coons are there in the black neighborhood? How many coon rapists are in the black neighborhood? How many coon women beaters are in the black neighborhood? Yet, nobody in the black community put hands on them? How about that? Or, we talk about the white man. Okay, let's talk about the white man. How many white police officers killed black people unarmed and senselessly, and all we do is go on the internet, type how mad we are, or we'll march, we'll sit in, but all this rage we talk about, and ain't no police officer got hands put on them yet? So what's more coonish? What's more coonish? Talking about it ain't Ralph though, or selling drugs to your own community? What's more coonish? Talking about 400 years was a choice, or raping black women? Blacks raping blacks. What's more coonish? What's more coonish than that? See, because at the end of the day, what Kanye West is just talk. Kanye West is just talking. Granted, what he said may have been, alarming, and he may need to word it better. I agree with that. Like how he put it was, he could do a little better than that. But is what he said worse than selling drugs to your own people? Let me ask y'all a question, black people. Let me ask you a question, black people. Black people whoever may listen to this video, whoever may want to comment, let me ask you this question. How many of you have members of your family on drugs? Okay? Next question. How many people in your family have been raped or molested? Okay. Now here's the final question. How many of those people in your family that are on drugs, and how many of those people in your family have been raped or molested by black people? I'll wait. See, you can be mad at Kanye West. Okay. And you have a right to be mad. You have a right to be mad at Kanye West. I'm not saying don't be mad at Kanye West. I'm a little upset with Kanye West by his comments. I will admit that. But I can't be more upset with Kanye West than I am at a drug dealer. at a black drug dealer who doesn't have to sell drugs to their own community. A black person will find a way to make some money by selling drugs to their own community, yet we won't do anything about that person. So how mad are we really? How mad are we actually that we will just throw Kanye West away like yesterday's trash, but the pimp still walking around? The pimp that takes our black women, puts them on the street, makes them sell their body for money, and that black man will take that money? Oh, we don't want to talk about that part, do we? See, we want to get mad at Kanye West, but we don't want to get mad and put hands on that drug dealer that you know. Some of y'all even got drug dealers in your family. How many of y'all got drug dealers in your family, and you have yet to see your drug dealer relative sell drugs to a white person and mess up their family? How many black people got drug dealers in their family that sell drugs to other black people? So what's worse? You ain't putting hands on your cousin that's messing up another black family? How many single parent households are there? Yeah, and people say, well, the white man's responsible for that. The white man's responsible for that. Okay, I will give you that. The white man is responsible. Let's say the white man is responsible for our downfall. Okay. But now that you know the enemy, now that you know who is responsible for the black family being destroyed, why are you spending more time trying to fight another black person? Why aren't you spending more time trying to fight that white person that messed up your family? I'm going to say it again. We know for 400 years, actually longer, because only 400 years when it comes to slavery in the United States. But, slavery has been going on far longer. We got the trans-Saharan slave trade, and we got this transatlantic slave trade that go back to the 1400s, not just 1619 in Virginia. We go back to the 1400s. How many? We already know who messed up our family. We already know why the black family is messed up. But why are you going after the people that look like you, that are also a victim of this war, instead of going after the white people that started it in the first place? Or at least the descendants of the white people that started in the first place. You're more mad at Kanye West than you are mad at the people who institutionalize racism. Oh, what you want to say? Because the white man got a system and stuff. Well, we had systems too. How many white police officers killed unarmed black people? What about Philando Castile? Like I said, what about George Zimmerman? Is George Zimmerman still alive? Is George Zimmerman still alive? Is he still walking around? How many black people have gone online and said, we need to put hands on George Zimmerman? But ain't no news come up yet that George Zimmerman got lumps on his face. Where the rage at? Put hands on him. If you're going to throw away Kanye West, then there's a lot of people that black folks need to put hands on that look like them that they ain't put hands on yet. Go find that drug dealer that got your mama on drugs. That's black also. Go find that person. Go find a black drug dealer that got your mama, got your aunt, got your brother, got your little sister on drugs on these streets, and knock him the fuck out. Before you throw Kanye West away, you better go to every drug dealer that look like you in your neighborhood, and they need to come up missing. That's how that go. Before anybody go online and say, you know what, Kanye West is a coon, he's a sellout, he's an Uncle Tom. What's being more of a sellout than being a drug dealer to your own people? You got mothers and fathers leaving children alone because they strung out on drugs. But ain't no white person go in that house and put drugs in their hand. So what are we mad at? And how much you want to bet the same ones that are telling Kanye West, that try to throw Kanye West away, are wearing Yeezys? Oh, we don't want to talk about that. How many of y'all keyboard warriors got on Yeezys right now? Hmm? How many of you Instagram instigators got on Yeezys? Hmm? How many? Yeah, let's talk about that. See, now I will admit, I was one of the ones who made the video looking at him crazy, like, oh, he need to go. But I had to think about that. I had to really reevaluate my thoughts and think about what I was mad at, what I was actually mad at. Because I'll tell you a story. Here we go. I'll tell you a story. This is a personal story. At 7 years old, my father was murdered. My father was murdered on Christmas Eve when I was 7 years old. How do I know this? Because I was in the house when he was shot. That's something that I don't put online. My father was murdered on Christmas Eve when I was 7 years old. You know who did it? Wasn't a white person. No. It wasn't an Asian person. It wasn't an Arab. It was a black person. Black people, to be exact. Why? Not quite sure. Why they did it? Not quite sure. But how many broken households are there from black people killing other black people? How many broken households are there from black people selling drugs to other black people? How many broken households are there because of black people raping and molesting other black people? How many broken households are there because of black people pimping other black people? And then we put it in the music. Then we take those same stories and put it in the music. How many women that are mad at Kanye West dance to a song while being called a bitch? Let's ask that question. Let me ask that question again. How many women have gone to the club, been called a bitch, and you singing the lyrics in a song, but are mad at Kanye West? Hmm? How many men are mad at Kanye West for his comments, but want to sing songs talking about selling drugs to their own people? Don't get quiet now. Put it in the comment section. How many women are mad at Kanye West for his comments? Wait. First of all, how many women are mad at Kanye West for his comments and for marrying a white woman, but don't mind dancing in the club to a song calling them bitch? How many men are mad at Kanye West for wanting to be like Ralph Lauren and for his comments on TMZ, but will proudly sing a song about selling drugs to their own people? How many men are mad at Kanye West, but will sing a song about cheating on their spouse or having sex with someone else's spouse? Oh, can we really talk? Can we talk real now? Okay, if we're gonna talk real now, we gotta really identify what we're mad at. Like I said, I do believe that Kanye West needs to do a much better job at conveying his message. I think he worded that horribly. But what he said can't come nowhere near other black people selling drugs to their own, killing their own, raping their own, cheating on their own. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about that. So before you throw Kanye West away, before anybody says we are done with Kanye West, I don't ever want to hear about Kanye West ever again. I don't care nothing about his life. Before you do that, before you type it, before you go online and say it, before you do any of that, the first thing you need to do is find the closest pimp, find the closest drug dealer, find the closest rapist, and make sure that person don't see light of day. Because if you're more concerned about what Kanye West said rather than the people you actually know really destroying the black community, you got a whole different set of issues than Kanye West. All right? Peace.